What's up, you guys? Today we are going to go over squat warm-ups. These are going to be warm-ups that we focus on before we actually get to the bar. Typically with a warm-up, our main goal is just getting the blood flowing, also to activate or warm up and wake up muscles that we will be using when we squat. As we know, a squat is a compound movement, so there are multiple muscles that we are using when we squat. So the first thing that you can start with, and this is optional, is you can do 5 to 10 minutes of either walking, incline walks, or a bike to really get the blood flowing overall. This is something that is definitely optional. Typically you'll want to do 1 to 2 sets for the warm-ups, and then usually 10 to sometimes 20 reps for each exercise. Typically with our squats and our deadlifts, we will do a little bit more activation and warm-ups than we would with a bench. So you can choose 3 to maybe 6 exercises here, 3 to 5 exercises for your warm-ups from this list. You don't have to choose, you don't have to do all of these, but these are some of the best. So we are gonna first start with some down and back exercises. The first thing that we are gonna do is an active butt kick. So it's gonna be a butt kick with a pull, and this is really gonna get a good quad stretch in without statically stretching it. So we're gonna go ahead and show you what that looks like. We're gonna just go down and back here. So we're just gonna go ahead and walk, and as we walk, we're gonna pull our legs up to our butts and just do a light pull. Don't sit here and hold it the entire time. So you're just gonna do a quick little pull and back. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is a hip opener stretch. I'm gonna show you from this way just so you can get the full visual of what I'm doing here. So this is another down and back drill. You're gonna lift the leg up, and then you're gonna rotate out, step down, lift up, rotate out, and back. So this is gonna help open up those hips, which is something we definitely want to do when we are warming up for our squats. And if you really don't have much balance, but you still wanna open those hips, you can just do the same thing, holding onto the side of a squat rack or really any pole. Now we can also do the hip openers a different way. So this is another active hip opener stretch. You can just stand here and give me a good side to side with each leg, just like this, and then do the other side. So the next thing that we're gonna focus on is a more active down and back movement. These are high knees. You've more than likely done these multiple times in your life. If you're wondering how far you should go for your down and backs, I usually just do like 10 to 15 steps, but the goal here isn't how many reps you're doing, it's really just getting the blood flowing. All right, high knees, down and back. And with your down and backs, especially with your active movements, you wanna make sure that you are moving slow forward, but moving fast upward. So I'm gonna show you what that means. A lot of people do this. That's a little too fast. So what I actually want you to do is focus on moving fast upward, but as you move forward, it's a little bit slower. Just like that. All right, so the next thing that we are gonna do are banded side steps. I pretty much have all of my athletes do these. These are a great abductor movement. They help wake up those glutes and those hips. So what we're gonna do is step through our little hip circle, and then you can place this as low. You can really place this even lower. You can place this all the way down to the knees if you wanted to. Or sorry, those aren't your knees, those are your ankles. You can place them as low as your ankles. But typically what you'll see is placing them right above those knees. The higher up you place it, the easier it is. So this is a little bit easier. Typically you'll see most people doing them down here. So what you wanna do with this, let's actually lower this down a little bit. You wanna make sure, you'll see a lot of people point their toes out this way and step like this. See how my toe is pointed out that way? We want it to either be pointing straight ahead or even slightly inward. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna press with this foot and really just take small steps. You can take larger steps, but I typically don't recommend it because that's when people start messing it up. So smaller steps, just focusing on making sure those toes are pointed inward, and you should feel this right here. Just side to side, nice and slow. We can actually keep our bands on for the next movement. We are just gonna do some light body weight banded squats. You can also throw some weight in here if you feel like you need some extra resistance to really wake up those muscles. But typically with just the band, it is enough to just warm up. And don't forget, we are also warming up with the bar. We're just not going over the bar warm-ups in this video. So don't forget, you don't necessarily have to be doing too much of actual squat warm-ups in this, because we still are squatting to warm up. We just aren't doing it before the bar. So with this, we want to make sure, because this band is on, it's really just helping to cue to push those knees out. You see how when I'm not activated, my knees are caving? We want to fight against that, push those knees out. So what we're going to do is we're just going to push those knees out and go ahead and squat down just like this. And again, 10 to 15 reps here. We can take that off, do something fancy like that to look cool in front of all the people in the gym. Now we're going to grab our bigger loop bands. I'm just gonna use this green one right here. So we're gonna do some banded good mornings next. From here, we're gonna step on the band just like this. So then we're gonna put our head through the loop like this. So now it's wrapped around our shoulders. All right, so now that we have our hair caught, oh my God. All right, so now that we are properly inside of our band, we are gonna do our banded good mornings. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna push those hips back, feel that stretch in the hammies, come up and squeeze those glutes nice and hard. Push those hips back and squeeze at the top, wake up those glutes. And then elegantly get out of your band and whip somebody with it. Oh my gosh, this purple hair is giving me personality, I swear. All right, now we are going to do banded glute bridges. So remember, just squeeze those glutes at the top, really push out against these bands. And make sure you're not feeling it too much in the lower back if you do something like this. You wanna make sure your core is squeezed and you're putting all that focus on those glutes. All right, and the last squat warm-up that I am going to show you, they are called airplanes. They are great for the hips. It's a lot of balance technique here and rotation. So you definitely want to make sure that you have your balance as you do this. So you're gonna go down on one leg and you're gonna lift the other leg up just like this. Make sure you are maintaining that core and not losing your balance here. And then we are gonna rotate those hips towards the side of the leg that is lifted up, and we're gonna go back down. Maintaining that hip. So down, maintaining a nice straight position, and then I'll show you this way. Open those hips and back down. All right, that is it for our squat warm-ups. Again, you can choose to do additional or different warm-ups for your squats, but these are the ones that I recommend you trying out, especially if you are new to warming up or new to powerlifting and aren't sure what to do. These are good ones to give a try. So now what we would typically do, and what we are gonna do, is warm up with the bar. So we are not done warming up yet. Now we have to actually go and warm up on the bar, which is going to be a new video. So anyways, now that I'm done warming up, I am sweating like a pig. Alright guys, so I just posted my leg day video a couple of days ago going over the main movements and secondary movements and why I am front squatting and doing pause squats and all of that. So I'm not going to really post too much of my main movements here for my hypertrophy days, but I will, let you see what weight I worked up to, which was about 30 pounds each side. I'm going to show you mostly my accessory movements here. That felt like cardio, RPE cardio. What I really want to do right now is leg press, leg press, leg press, but typically it is best if you save machine work towards the end. Since we've already gotten our main movement out of the way, it's really not a big deal if I did leg press first, but I like to do more of those functional movements, more of those compound-based movements, aka not machine work. I like to save those for last. When you're really pushing and really grinding, that's usually the best time to do those machine movements. Oh my God. Oh my Lord, a bug just came for me. Oh my gosh, these things are crazy. So what I'm gonna do is my least favorite thing first. That is the way to do it, just like you save dessert for last. save your favorite exercise for last and you eat your vegetables first, because then you'll be motivated and happy throughout the rest of your workout, because now it's just dessert from here, you know what I mean? My least favorite exercise other than squats on leg day is lunges. There's nothing worse than lunges. What we're gonna do are front foot elevated lunges, or split squats if you want to be technical about it. So I just stacked 225 rubber plates like this, and I'm going to place my working leg, my front leg, on these. These are basically the opposite of Bulgarian split squats with the back foot elevated. So I'm going to show you what these look like. Basically the purpose of this is it gets you into a deeper range of motion, so it increases that range of motion. So I'm going to show you from a lower angle just so you can really get a good idea here. All right, so foot goes up here, step this back leg back, hold our weight up at the top. All right, so a couple of tips for this. The first one is that if you do not do lunges very often, you first want to make sure that you have your lunges perfected before you move into a more advanced version of a lunge or a split squat. The second thing is you don't have to have your front foot as elevated as mine. You can start with a lower elevation and then work your way up into a deeper range of motion from there. And then we are going to superset this with some glute bridges. So I believe I mentioned this earlier, but if I didn't, the band around my knees help to cue glute activation as well as abduction, which if you're someone who sits down all day, more than likely you have weaker glutes. So using the hip circles helps to further increase that glute activation. All right, so what we're gonna do next is the leg press. Oh my God, there's so many bugs. And then we're gonna do some single leg glute bridges. See how we're looking there? I think I might need to stick to regular glute bridges, but I really just wanna see where I am with my lower back and just my core strength and what I'm activating with those. So we're gonna do those. Short leg squat. Oh. I'm paranoid for no reason, it's fine. Oh my goodness. So this is the point of the workout where I start to get delusional. When I get really tired, I just start losing my mind and getting paranoid, and also the bugs were driving me nuts. But also the lights started turning out, so I really don't know. This is not fitness related, but I'm pretty sure I have ghosts following me around everywhere I go. So that's that. Let me know what you think. All right, so on my right side, okay. And we are now supersetting the leg press with some single leg hip thrust with no weight, just to make sure that we're really activating the glutes and not the hammies or lower back. That's excessive, but I literally cannot help it. Oh my God. It's like turn off the lights, freaky time. All right, so the next thing we are gonna do are banded kneeling hip thrusts. So all we're gonna do is loop a heavy duty circle band around a squat rack or any pole really. We're gonna put our whole bodies through the loop like this, and we are going to put this around the hips. Oh my God, why do I love this? I need to not do that, but also that was really fun. We're gonna grab a bench and hold on to this so that we can really thrust those hips forward. Y'all, and if you want to know what I'm really like when I get delusional, this is it. This is why I have a separate channel from my coaching channel. And then we are going to superset this with a cardio-based movement. So I don't know why, but I've been addicted to throwing in extra movements that I used to do during my bodybuilding days to lean out. It's just exhilarating to me for whatever reason. I'm really enjoying it. So these are some fast-paced step-ups. So no weight, just moving fast here, making sure that we're still in control, but using this more as a cardio movement rather than a building movement. All right, the last thing I'm gonna do for my accessory movements is the glute ham raises. With these, what you want to focus on is raising your upper back. It will help to activate those glutes a little bit more. So instead of using the lower back, which is this, you want to round that back a little bit, or at least that's how it'll look, to really focus on the glutes, to bring the focus from the lower back, which will still be, you know, the lower back will still get activated here, but it'll bring more of that focus to the booty. We're gonna do some bird dogs, some cat cows, and some dead bugs. They're all like animals. We're gonna start first with some dead bugs because I feel like a dead bug right now. They look weird, but they're really, really great at activating the core. All right, so the reason I am doing these 3 movements is because I have been really struggling with some issues in my left shoulder and right lower back and hip. So these are some movements that a while back my cousin, who is a chiropractor, had recommended I do because I've had these issues going on for a while, but I was young, I was stupid, I didn't care, I was invincible, and I am no longer invincible. I'm not old, I'm just no longer invincible. So because I chose to ignore some of those issues that I was experiencing, I am now actually experiencing some discomfort. So now I'm just working on correcting those imbalances. We've moved into the cat-cow here, which I know these look really ridiculous and people are embarrassed to do these at the gym. I really don't care. But if you're someone who is struggling with just imbalances and even just need to wake up and have some good stretches to do in the morning, these are just great to do every day before you get your day started or even before bed. So this really helps with that spine health, and this one does as well. So these are bird dogs, so it's opposite arm, opposite leg. But those are the movements that I am doing to really help just correct that spine health and get the shoulder and hip / lower back to go back to normal. And, well, for me, normal is messed up, but go back to a healthier position and function. That's what we've got going on here. And I totally forgot to make a outro. So this is my outro. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, I am a powerlifting coach, but this is more of the behind the scenes. If you want more of the professional videos, you can go to my coaching channel if you just search Flex Club. I also have it linked to my channel as well. Obviously, this is my more fun side. I like to mess around here, and that's what I, am showing you guys is my fun side. Well, at least what I think is my fun side. You guys might find it annoying, but if you've watched it this far, you probably like me just a little bit. So if you are interested in coaching, check out my more professional channel, and you can reach out for coaching. I have the information down in the description box below. So I will catch you guys in the next